Welcome to Wisconsin Sports Collector. Got a lot of stuff to talk about. 1960 and 1961 Milwaukee Braves. So let's get to it. "1960 Topps has 36 Braves. Again, a misspelled Brunette. Wonder if you ever got tired of that. It includes Ray Boone, who played 20 games for the Braves and had a son and two grandsons playing the majors. White and gray backs are on these cards again. They came back, but with a twist this time. I'll explain. There had been some push and pull with multiple people involved. Some wanted white backs, some wanted gray backs. Well, the white backs looked better, but the gray backs were cheaper. So they usually, in the previous years, they would have two printers, because one printer, his stuff was set up better for the gray, and the other one was set up better for the white. And they would both produce cards, so they wouldn't produce them evenly quite often. And if there were any delays, well, one became rarer. Then, at the end of the year, whoever was making the last run of cards, if they were delayed or if they were sort of rushed or whatever, they would make less. But it kind of worked out because they sold less too, because by now the end of the year was here and kids weren't buying cards as much. Plus now there were football cards out. Well, for collectors, a high number series of anything in these early years are worth more because they made less. Well, this time they gave two printers 3 different runs, so there's 6 different runs. Each had 3, so there aren't white and gray versions of each. They just have number runs where they're white or they're gray. The warehouse at this time was starting to fill up with the pallets of unsold cards, especially those high numbers, especially a lot of those early years like 52. Well, they found a way to fix that problem with the warehouse space. They put these pallets and pallets and pallets of unsold cards, and they put them on a boat and they dumped them in the ocean. Can you believe that? I'll give you a moment to cry about that. Well, Topps also made tattoos this year. Four Brave players and a team one. OPC tattoos, I believe, are the exact same but different packaging. OPC was a brand that Topps had to start in Canada because they wouldn't let Topps just sell their American-made cards in Canada. They had to be printed in Canada. Well, that became a bigger issue later on. Anyway, George Burnett, I have a card of his that was never made. Somebody is going back and including players that never had a card and making up a card for them. There's no back on this George Burnett card. George Burnett played 2 years, and he wasn't a big star or anything. And George Burnett played for a bunch of different teams. The Journal said that if there was a beer to be drank or a fight to be started, George Burnett was right there. Well, my friend went to school with him, and they were friends since little on. And, George was an ornery bastard sometimes. Not that my friend, of course, but, he wasn't a very friendly guy. Didn't sign anything ever. If you ever see a George Burnett autograph, it probably isn't one. 1960 also saw new card highlights. 6 baseball events included Braves. These were about twice the size of a normal card. Spick and Span is still in the game with another 26-player issue of 2 3/4 by 3 1/8 black and white cards. Bazooka is back with 3 Braves. Topps owns Bazooka, by the way. Leaf jumps into the market. I imagine they found just enough players that didn't have a contract with Topps, because almost all the players in the Leaf product are not stars. They're all kind of obscure players. Anyway, they made 6 Braves and also had a test issue with a little different photograph on them. And 2 Braves are in that. Those are really hard to find. Lake to Lake made 28 cards. Lake to Lake cards were stapled to Lake products, like milk cartons. I mean, stapled, so it's almost impossible to find nice ones. A lot of them went out the back door, though, and never got stapled onto anything, so they do exist. Nice ones do exist. 1961, Topps has 35 Braves. Includes Billy Martin, who was more famous as a manager, I suppose. Took 6 at-bats for us. Billy Bruton got traded to Detroit for second baseman Frank Bulling, who was an all-star twice here. Red Shandies was released after the 1960 season despite coming back from tuberculosis and a partial lung removal to play in 68 games. Topps made rub-offs, which had two Braves. Billy Martin, of all people, are one of them, and the crazy, super politically incorrect Indian Brave is the other one. Topps also made 12 Braves in stamps. 61 also had 7-Eleven come into the game. 3 cards were Braves, and these are hard to find. 61 Bazooka had 2 Braves now. Chem Strand patches were nice. Only 9 players were in that set, and one of them was Warren Spahn. Fleer Decals came out with a Braves sticker and a Braves World Series winner sticker, among all the other stickers they made. Oh yeah, and they were fighting Topps in court for about the next 20 years. New card scoops were similar to the new card highlights of the previous year, but normal size now, and had 9 Braves in their offering. Post Cereal made 16 Braves cards, and they were on cereal boxes. All different kinds, too. So certain players were on whatever, Raisin Bran, some of them were on the other ones. So you had to buy a whole bunch of different kinds of cereal to get them all. The pre-traded Bruton and a post-traded Bulling are among the 16. Kids would cut them out of the boxes. You could also send in for them, and they came in small sheets that were perforated. So those are usually the nice ones you find because kids weren't cutting those so much. Oh. Well, attendance dropped like a rock in 1961, and it was all because the Braves banned beer carry-ins. Actually, the county did it. Baseball would eventually do that anyway. Hard to imagine at any time you could just bring all the beer you wanted to the baseball game. But you could, up till then. And when they stopped it, the Braves got blamed for it, but it wasn't their decision. The county board was all greedy bastards that wanted to make all the money and left the Braves with no way to make money. The county ran the concessions, the beer, souvenirs. They even ran the parking. So made it pretty impossible for the Braves to really make out. No wonder why they look for greener pastures, and you don't mess with people's beer in this town. Stupid. Well, 62 and 63 are next. Thank you.
That was much better.